As well as the standard fair use policy, these videos are protected under the Treaty of Peace and Friendship 1787.
Moors are awake. We are taking our place on this planet.
Islam Moors.
My nationality is Moorish.
Hello.
Yes, is that a Mr. Stallworth?
Hello. I am. I'm representing.
Excuse me, sir, but your connection was a bit choppy. Do you care to repeat the nonsense?
So Mr. Stallworth isn't present this afternoon? Is that what I'm hearing? That you're not Mr. Stallworth?
I am.
All right, sir, you're going to have to find another. Can you try going to a different location? Because it's like you're breaking up too much, so it's very hard to hear.
Would you recommend?
Or why don't you see if you can find a different location that might be better for us to be able to hear you.
Okay.
Judge,
I guess I'll wait.
Miss, yes, Miss Davis.
going back to position number 4, what I see is there was a proposed order on here, and it was a consent order and judgment. And then there was a motion for a reconsideration.
Was that consent order and judgment ever filed, officially filed with the clerk?
It shows that, yeah, on the 7th of, yes, Judge, the 7th of February.
Okay. And you said, Mr. Williams, you weren't unable to see it on your side?
Yes, I'm having trouble pulling it up. The system seems to not be responding at this time.
All right. Miss, if you can share your email with Miss Davis, then we can get you a copy so you can take a look at it. Then we can kind of figure out what to do from there.
Okay, I'll send it through chat. Second.
Thank you. All right. And then Dallas Williams, do you need a copy of that consent order as well?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Can you hear me, Judge? Judge Andrews?
That is much better. I can hear you.
Perfect.
Yeah, Mr. Hodges. There's Mr. Hodges. All right. That is much better. All right, so are you Anthony Stallworth in position 7?
I am 8 Messiah Bay, the authorized representative on behalf of the defendant, Anthony Stallworth.
All right, so are you telling me Mr. Stallworth is not present here today?
I am. I'm telling you, I'm standing in as the authorized representative for him by special appearance.
Excuse me, sir, but what in the doohickey are you talking about? We have countless video evidence on YouTube already showing that type of defense doesn't work. So stop while you're ahead, buddy.
All right, well, if Mr. Stallworth is not present here today, because he does need to be present to answer this calendar, then we'll have to move forward as if he is not here. Because Mr. Stallworth has to be present to be able to have any meaningful conversations with the attorney.
To have any meaningful conversations with who?
With the attorney. Mr. Stallworth is the only individual who can enter into any sort of agreement or negotiations with Mr. Hodges.
I see. Now, the communications that were between the defendant and the attorney through mail and court of record, is that not in the record?
Today, at this hearing today, Mr. Stallworth needs to be present to have a conversation with the attorney. If Mr. Starworth isn't present, then we'll proceed without him.
Well, like I said before, my honor, I'm not here to argue the facts of the case. I'm just here. I'm the holder in due course. I'm representing the defendant as the authorized party to represent him during this matter.
And that's the problem, fool. You are not authorized to represent anyone. You are not a licensed attorney. So if you're not Mr. Starworth or whatever your name is, then they're going to move on as if you're not there.
I hear you, but Mr. Hodges cannot speak with anyone but Mr. Starworth.
Well, would it be better to push for the hearing so that I may speak with the judge?
I can't set any hearings with anyone but Mr. Starworth. Mr. Starworth is not here, then we proceed as if he is not here.
And how do you proceed if he is not here?
I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to strike the answer, Your Honor.
All right, appearing Mr. Starworth is not present, it being 2:07 p.m. Mr. Hodges.
Motion to strike
that.
the answer. Written stancer. And judgment for
Your Honor, I object.
That's a
It
lot.
is in the
You can
court
object
record.
unless you are Mr. Starworth. I cannot have a conversation with you about this case, sir.
Oh,
Mr. Starworth is the only person who has standing to discuss this case with the court.
This Moorish fool is so dumb that he still doesn't realize that his Moorish script is working against him. Sir, just say that you are Mr. Starworth so they can proceed and you can make your arguments. Other than that, they're not even going to entertain you, fool.
And that's going to be judgment for, gosh, that's a lot. $13,558.06.
All right, it being 2:08 is Mr. Starworth. I'm sounding at this time for Mr. Anthony Starworth. Mr. Starworth. All right, there's no response from Mr. Starworth.
Could you have him to repeat that number again for me?
Therefore, your motion to strike is granted. A writ shall issue in stanter and a money judgment in the amount of $13,558.06.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to continue with my calls about those motions to seal.
All right, thank you.
What an idiot. This Moorish fool looks like he doesn't even know what just happened to him.